humans and future AI overlords. I'm using Microsoft Edge and I'm at bing.com, and today we're going to look at bingchat Enterprise. Now this is my very first time looking at it, so who knows how it's going to go. But anyway, I'm clearly here at bing.com. I'm going to click on chat. And because I'm using a work, I'm air quoting, email, it is not my real work, but you can see here it says bingchat Enterprise, AI-powered co-pilot for the web. This is in preview. Bing is powered by AI, so surprises and mistakes are possible. Hey, that's good to know. Please share feedback so we can improve. Ads are not targeted based on your workplace identity or chat history. And we have our typical creative, balanced, or precise conversation style. And over here, we've got some create a SWOT analysis. I do that a lot in using these AI tools. They're fantastic for that. Help me write a successful sales pitch. Compare online and offline marketing strategies. Business travel. What's a good place to stay for my upcoming business trip? I mean, these are, it's great just to give people some context, which is excellent. And then of course you've got where you put your prompt, where you input it. You've got the new topic option. Looks like there's a 2,000 character limit here. It says add an image, all right. And then it says your personal and company data are protected in this chat. Okay, cool. And I did put it in dark mode. So you have the option to change your safe settings. There was some chat response results page, search history, my Bing privacy feedback, and I put the appearance as dark. So anyway, it's pretty basic. You know, it's exactly what was, you know, Microsoft has presented. So let's see here. I'm going to just say, whoops, take off that caps lock. Hello, Bing Chat Enterprise. My typing is horrible. Let's just see how conversational is. So it says, hello, how can I help you today? And it still says your personal and company data are protected in the chat. And then it's giving me some prompt options here. And I'm gonna just say, click on the what is bingchat Enterprise? You're chatting with me now. I'm an AI-powered web chat for work that allows organizations to unlock the benefits of generative AI today, such as better answers, questionable, greater efficiency, definitely, and new ways to be creative, absolutely, because I'm not very creative, so having an AI help me is awesome. My tech combines the generative AI capabilities of Bing Chat with commercial data protection. This means the user and business data is protected and will not leak outside your organization. Chat data is not saved, no one in Microsoft can view it, and chat data isn't used to train the underlying models. So that is fantastic. Now, one thing I notice here is we have a limit to this conversation. We're on 2 of 30. You know, the first question, and then clicking on the response. So we have that wonderful limitation that annoys me with Bing of conversations that basically once you reach that 30 interaction mark, the chat stops over. It's almost like you hit new topic and it forgets everything you're saying. So it's annoying, and I know they're using it because they've had some issues in the past with hallucinations and the chat going off the rails. If you haven't heard about that, give that a good search. It was a very interesting experience, but I'm sure it's something that Microsoft does not want to happen again. So it's a strange limitation that but anyway, it's there. So know that limitation. You have your 2,000 character limitation, and you have your 30 interactions limitation before it basically starts over. So like me every day, when I start over and I forget everything I've done the previous day. But the consumer versus enterprise, aspect of this is that, if you've used Bing Chat or ChatGPT or Google Bard, this is designed with more security. It's meant to protect your company data. You're using this with your company login and account. So, but companies are nervous about people inputting data into these chatbots, and that data being saved in the tool and being trained with the data. And there's lots of questions about that with different tools. So it's definitely something that companies want to be concerned about, and you should be concerned about. Everyone should really be concerned about how this data that you put in these chatbots is used. It was designed to be more secure and compliant than the consumer version. It protects the organizational data that you feed in. So if you're putting in company information into this chatbot to do some analysis on it, it's not going to, basically save that data, or Microsoft's not going to look at that data or use that data to train the data. So I'm going to say, do a SWOT analysis on Microsoft. So I really love, the first time I did this, it just blew my freaking mind. Let's see how big, I've never done it in Bing Chat, so let's see how it goes. It's providing a background on Microsoft, which is cool. It's identifying its strengths, its weaknesses, its opportunities, and its threats. All right, so, and then it's giving citations, which is great. And I think that is one of the strengths of Bing Chat, is the citations. So basically, let's say you did a SWOT analysis on your own company. The information here is not going to go anywhere. Of course, you do have your interactions, and you can copy the data, you can export the data. So you have the option to export to Word, PDF, and text. So you can pull this, content out of this tool, because many times you can, these interactions, are great. Now, you see right here, it's got, right here, it looks like this is what I've, if I could copy this, but this is showing my prompt or question, and then this is the response over here, and it's cool. It's got the little shield and reminding you your personal company data are protected in this chat, and basically, since it didn't really have in its training data a SWOT analysis from Microsoft, it did a Bing search, and then it generated the answer. So that's one of the ways you can tell when it has to go outside its sort of AI training data and see when it has to get other information. And that's good because for example, in ChatGPT, training data is through September 2021. So not having an internet connected, or not having your chatbot have a search engine like Google Bard does, and and Microsoft Bing have the search engines to leverage, makes outdated training data kind of a problem. But anyway, let's see here. Oh, so this is one thing that in the user experience with Bing, I get annoyed when I'm navigating through the UI, and I go down, it brings me here. I wish they would fix that. It's just kind of annoying. If I want to go back to search, let me just click. Anyway, maybe I'll learn that gesture over time, but I'm just using the scroll wheel on my mouse, and it's a little annoying. So I'm going to say, let's see here. So in this, get the most out of your, so interesting. So I must have accidentally clicked on Bing AI. Interesting. So let's see if I go back here. Okay, so what I was hoping to do was, I want to ask it to, let's see here. So if I go back here, I don't have an option to change to like more creative. So it looks like when you're in your mode, I'm gonna go here, I'm just gonna click new topic. Okay, all right, click new topic. All right, this is good to know. See, so I wanted to change my conversation style. So it looks like once you get into a chat, it doesn't let you switch. So make sure you pick your conversation style before you start your prompt, because you can't switch in the middle of your prompts. So defaults to balanced, which is good. It's your more, it says, start an informative and friendly chat. Creative is, so it looks like when you do this, it clears the conversation and starts original and an imaginative chat. Where I click here and it clears my conversation, starts a concise and straightforward chat. It's so funny, I never use, well, that's not true. I have tested them out, but even the balance, they don't, sometimes they don't really feel that different. But anyway, but the good news here is that I'm not seeing any saved data. Typically, like we saw when we did the prompts earlier, you would see, typically in your consumer Bing chat, you would see your saved content. You can go manually delete it. But here, once you click on a new topic or change your conversation style, boom, all that previous conversation stuff is gone. So it'd be good to know that, let's say you're doing some prompts and getting some really good information, that if it's stuff you need, you should export that out of there or copy it so that you have it, because once you've clicked and it's gone, it's gone. So I think that's a really good thing to know. So it's cool that Microsoft is clearly in this interface living up to, hey, we don't save your data. At least it's not apparent in the UI, which is cool. So so the user experience definitely is in line. But I think I would get, if I wasn't paying attention, could easily have a conversation and then lose that conversation and not be able to do anything with it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click more creative, and I'm going to say, draw an artificial intelligence robot. Let's see if it can draw. Let's see, alrighty, creativity it is. How can I help? And then it's saying, I'll try to create that. So this is one of the limitations, is it currently doesn't support Bing Image Creator, yet it says it's trying to create it, which is what the consumer experience does. And then you'll see DALL-E 2 kick in, Bing Image Creator, powered by DALL-E 2, and then it'll create it. And so it's so funny that it says I'll try to do it, and it's got follow-up prompts, but it's not doing it. So clearly that's fine. So, so it's not currently supported, but supposedly that feature is coming soon. So I think that will be interesting. Just like visual search is not currently supported, but that feature is also coming soon. So you'll eventually be able to add an image and do a visual search. And then third-party plugins and actions, those are not supported as well. So you've got the ability to use a microphone. And I'm going to allow it. Hello, Bing. How are you today? Whoops. Hello, Bing. How are you today? I'm so glad it didn't autocorrect. Whoops. It's still listening. It's so funny. Like, I love voice input on mobile. I don't do it a lot on my desktop systems, but it's...
Hello, this is Bing. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm always happy to chat with you and help you with your queries. What would you like to talk about today?
Oh my God, it talked to me. I didn't realize it could talk. Holy cow. You know what? This is awesome. I'm going to say, can you tell me a joke? Okay. All right. So if you do text-based input, it does a text-based response. If you do a voice input, it does voice response. That is interesting. So, hey, this is clearly, I don't use voice input that much. Bard does the voice. Like, you can click on the response and it will speak it. But that really freaked me out, but in like a really good way. I'm wondering if there's a way to customize the voice. Voice search. I don't know. I'll just go back here and say, hey. All right. So we're back at bingchat Enterprise. I was curious if I could do something different, but what I'm going to do now is, I want to play around a little bit with some of these. Oh, interesting. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Look at this. The text input limit says now 4,000. Wasn't it? Let's see. I wonder if it's based on conversation. Okay. So conversation style is 2,000. Precise is 4,000. Whoa. That's weird. So conversation styles impact the text input you have. That's interesting. Let's see here. Let's just try some stuff. What is the population of the United States?
Searching for population of the United States. As of September 5th, 2023, the population of the United States was estimated to be approximately 335,361,288. Please note that population estimates can vary slightly depending on the source and the method of calculation. For instance, other sources estimate the population to be around 340,319,431 as of September 4th, 2023. It's always a good idea to check multiple sources for the most accurate and up-to-date information.
How is bingchat Enterprise different than bingchat consumer version?
Searching for bingchat Enterprise versus bingchat consumer version. bingchat Enterprise and bingchat consumer version are both AI-powered chat services, but they are designed for different audiences and have some key differences. User sign-in. Employees using bingchat Enterprise must sign in to bing.com/chat using their work account. Design. bingchat Enterprise has a unique design that distinguishes it from the consumer version. Data protection. Above the chat input box and on top of every chat answer, users see a message confirming your personal and company data are protected in this chat. Access to data. bingchat Enterprise is a generative AI service grounded in data from the public web in the Bing search index only. It doesn't have access to organizational resources or content within Microsoft 365, such as documents in OneDrive, emails, or other data in the Microsoft 365 graph. Chat history. bingchat Enterprise does not currently support chat history. Previous chats aren't maintained by bingchat Enterprise, nor is chat history available to users or the organization. Availability. bingchat Enterprise is available in over 160 regions around the world and is supported in all the same regions where bingchat is available. Browser support. bingchat Enterprise supports Edge, desktop and mobile, and Chrome, desktop. Support for other browsers is coming soon. Please note that these details are accurate as of the latest update and may change over time.
What are the prompt input limits using bingchat?
Searching for bingchat prompt input limits. The character limit for bingchat is a topic of discussion among users. According to a post on Reddit, the default character limit for bingchat is 2,000 characters per message. However, some users have found a way to increase this limit to 25,000 characters by modifying the max length variable in the text area class using the browser's developer tools. It is important to note that this method may not work for everyone and is not officially supported by Microsoft. Additionally, Microsoft has indicated that they are working towards increasing the character limit in the future. In fact, Microsoft has already increased the character limit from 2,000 to 4,000 characters. Please keep in mind that using prompts to generate content that Microsoft considers inappropriate may result in losing your access to Bing Chat. It's always a good idea to read and follow Microsoft's terms of use and code of conduct. Is there anything else you would like to know?
Well, that's interesting. So it did a search. It found a Reddit update. It talked about the change from 2,000 to 4,000, but it depends on the type of conversation style. So not all conversation styles have this new 4,000 character limit, which is very interesting. It's like, I don't know if that's something they overlooked or why they would do it that way. It's very interesting. Then of course, bring in that whole, keep in mind that prompts need to generate content that Microsoft considered appropriate may result in losing your access to Bing Chat. Like, okay, so I mean, that's always great advice to not be inappropriate. When you're using these chatbots, you're using an account tied to you. So, definitely, it's always important not to input any personally identifiable information, not to put any, sensitive or personal or private information into these tools. Regardless of what they say, I think it's important just to keep that strategy, in most situations. I know there's going to be times when you're looking to do some analysis on some data, and I think the value of this is that you could, you could input private and sensitive data that you want to use the tool to do some analysis of, which is the goal of this, to input data and get an analysis done on it. But I tell you, 4,000 characters just is not a lot of room to put a lot of data. And then I'm curious about the response limits. So let me ask about that. What is the limitation on characters for the responses to prompts in Bing Chat?
Searching for Bing Chat response character limit. The character limit for responses in Bing Chat is not explicitly stated in the official documentation. However, it's important to note that the character limit for input prompts was recently increased from 2,000 to 4,000 characters. This change allows users to provide more detailed prompts, which could potentially lead to longer responses. However, the length of the response also depends on the complexity of the prompt and the amount of information needed to provide a comprehensive answer. In some cases, a prompt may require a short and concise response, while in others, a more detailed and lengthy response may be necessary.
Okay, well that's not super clear, but let's talk about what are the limitations and utilization of tokens in Bing Chat?
Searching for limitations and utilization of tokens in Bing Chat. Bing Chat has certain limitations and uses tokens in its operation. Here are some key points. Chat turns. Microsoft initially limited the number of interactions testers could have to 5 turns per session and a maximum of 50 per day. However, this has been increased to 6 chat turns per session with a maximum of 60 chats per day. The plan is to increase the daily cap to 100 sessions soon. Character limit. The default character limit for Bing Chat is 2,000 characters per message. However, Microsoft has increased this limit to 4,000 characters. Token utilization. Tokens are used in AI models like Bing Chat to break down input into smaller pieces that the model can understand. Each word or character could be considered a token. The number of tokens affects how much information the model can process at once. However, specific details about token utilization in Bing Chat are not explicitly stated in the available resources. Response length. The length of the response also depends on the complexity of the prompt and the amount of information needed to provide a comprehensive answer. Access and usage. Bing Chat is funded by advertising. so users cannot pay for higher limits or better responses. Please note that these details are accurate as of the latest update and may change over time. If you have any other questions or need further clarification, feel free to ask.
Well, that's interesting. So I know that tokens are basically text input translates into token counts typically. So it looks like, and maybe the way Microsoft's doing it is better, saying, hey, this is a 2,000 character limit, now it's a 4,000 character limit, so that you don't have to think in terms of tokens, because that's one of the things that was confusing. In an AI chatbot, does one character equal one token, or how is that calculated? And then is there a maximum on the input side and the output side? And is that a combined limitation or separate?
Searching for AI chatbot character token calculation. Searching for AI chatbot input-output maximum. Searching for AI chatbot combined separate limitation. In AI chatbots, the concept of a token is used to break down input into smaller pieces that the model can understand. Each word or character could be considered a token, depending on the language and the specific tokenization strategy used by the model. Here are some general rules of thumb for understanding tokens in terms of lengths. One token is approximately equal to 4 characters in English. One token is roughly equivalent to 3/4 of a word. 100 tokens are approximately equal to 75 words. As for the maximum limitations on the input and output side, it depends on the specific AI model being used. For instance, some models have a maximum limit of tokens that can be processed in a single request. This limit is shared between the input prompt and the output completion. For example, if a model has a maximum limit of 4,096 tokens and your input prompt is 4,000 tokens, your output completion can be 96 tokens at most. These limitations are generally separate for the input and output. However, they are interconnected in the sense that the total number of tokens used, input plus output, should not exceed the maximum limit set by the model. Please note that these details might vary depending on the specific AI model and its configuration. It's always a good idea to refer to the official documentation or resources for accurate information.
Well, that's awesome, and I know we're geeking out a little bit here, and I appreciate you. If you've gotten this far in this video, you're clearly a nerd, and we should hang out because that's great. So this is interesting. I'm going to see create a table comparing Google Bard, Microsoft Bing Chat, and ChatGPT 4 token utilization and limitations.
Searching for Google Bard token utilization and limitations. Searching for Microsoft Bing Chat token utilization and limitations. Searching for ChatGPT token utilization and limitations. Sure, here's a comparison table for Google Bard, Microsoft Bing Chat, and ChatGPT regarding token utilization and limitations. AI model token utilization input limitations, output limitations.
Well, that's cool. It built the table. It didn't read the table, which I'm kind of glad. That's good because that would have been a lot more reading. So token utilization for Google Bard. Tokens are text fragments used to understand the requirements. Input limitation limited to 1,000 tokens or approximately 750 words per session. Output limitation not explicitly stated. Okay, so it looks like, as I've understood it, input and output tokens, like it mentioned it earlier, the input and output tokens, the model sometimes, I guess depending on the model, it has a certain limitation on the tokens, the text or characters that are turned into tokens, then the model can support certain amounts, and it will essentially, cut off the response if you had too big of input tokens for that limit. And that's one of those things where, like, it may not be obvious in your response that it cut out information. And that's one of the things I've kind of wished that there was more visibility on, but I think maybe, the way Bing is doing it by saying, hey, here's your character limit, instead of having to convert, like converting megabytes and converting tokens into, characters, because I know that, different text links and types of, like some people use emoji, and those are different tokens. And so it really, it really depends, and then it just gets it's one of those things, like it's too much to think about. Can the tool make it easier? And I think Bing's approach of the text limit is probably pretty excellent, because we're used to that, seeing that, text limit when we're, using, a variety of different, apps and social tools and stuff like that. So anyway, this is useful. Something I'm definitely going to dive a little bit deeper into. And I'm sorry I kind of went off the rails a little bit here, but Bing Chat Enterprise, I think, is pretty awesome. I'm just going to actually, let's see here. I'm just going to do some more prompts just to see if I can reach that max 30 responses, because I'm curious how it will behave, when I get to that. And I'm also just curious, some of these, these auto-generated prompted questions are pretty interesting. And I think, and this is where, when I look at this kind of stuff, so look at here, you could convert this into an Excel here by clicking that, and then so the file is exported, and then you can click view, and then it's going to open it inside of, let's see here, so here we get, I just have to, whoops. All right, cool. So you can see that it's put that in the Excel file. So that is a feature I really like with the chatbots, being able to save the content. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. This was really fun to kind of play around with the Bing Chat Enterprise tool. It is clearly going to be a really great tool for us to explore, and utilize in the work environment, allowing you to bring work content into a chatbot, and use the power of it. Now, this does kind of, mean that, hey, you need to know how to use these chatbots. You need to know how to do the prompts, what they're capable of, and so hopefully you're exploring this on a personal level, so that when this, or if this is enabled in your work environment, you can get out there and bring this extra AI-based knowledge into your work, and really advance, what you're trying to do. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. Have a great day. See you next time.